Hello students, in today's session we will discuss the problem we were discussing in the last session. We will continue that same problem because in the last session we have finished up to the failure mode of yielding, in which the gross area of a section will yield, and before yielding or before failure due to yielding, this what strength section shows. That formula I have taught you. That formula is already mentioned in your IS code on page number 32 in section 6.3. Again, the further two remaining parts, which is mode of failure due to a rupture, when the net cross section area of your section fails due to rupture, what strength is before the failure, what strength is given by the section, that part is remaining. And the third mode of failure, which is the block shear failure, in that we need to calculate strength for before failure, or what strength section show before block shear failure, that we gonna discuss in the this part. Now the important thing about this session is I have to deliver two different types of sums within this video, or these two remaining parts, which are need some diagrams as well as formulas from IS code. So before starting our section, I request you all take your notebook along with you as well as your IS code. I will mention a page number of IS code where the diagrams are available, as well as I have shown in my session also. So it will be more helpful if you carry your notebook as well as IS code with you. Now let's start with the before going for the session, we will read our question again and then we will start. So see, the question says we have unequal angle of its area is, or its dimensions are 100 by 75 by 6, where 100 is a longer length, 75 is a shorter length, and 6 is the thickness of those legs of that angle. Okay, and it is connected to a 10 mm thick gusset plate. Okay, and at the ends with 16 mm dia, 6 numbers of bars. Okay, I have drawn the diagram in previous session also. I will draw it again for you. See if you have an angle like this, and if you connected this angle with gusset plate, cross section will be look like this. You have bolts in it for the connection, right? And this gusset plate is of 10 mm thickness, whereas this angle is of dimension 100 by 75 by 6 mm. 6 mm representing thickness of this angle. Okay, now they want us to determine the design tensile strength of an angle, assuming that the yield and the ultimate stress of a steel used are 250 MPa and 410 MPa. Now itself in a problem they mention the two ways of connecting angle with the gusset plate. The one way is to connect the 100 mm leg. In the second way they said to connect 75 mm leg to the gusset plate, and that's why we have two cases. We will solve these two cases. One case I will solve for you, the second case I will give you to solve at home. I will release details of that solution for the second case in your WhatsApp group. So let's start with the first. Yes, so we have solved this part yesterday, in which we have considered 100 mm leg is connected to the gusset plate. 100 mm leg of that angle is connected to the gusset plate, and area of connected leg, area of outstanding leg, net area, ANC stands for net area, gross G stands for gross area. Gross area is calculated for outstanding leg, net connected area is calculated for the one leg which is connected to the gusset plate, and this is telling us a gross area. Gross area is nothing but the whole area of that angle without any hole. Then we have discussed this very first mode of failure, which is yielding. What happens in yielding? A section itself doesn't break, but it is yield so much that deformation cause a failure of serviceability. It is not serviceable, and I hope you remember what serviceability criteria says. In limit state method, the limit states are of two types. One is the limit state of collapse, and second one is the limit state of strength. Okay, limit state of collapse and strength is the same thing, and second criteria of limit state is limit state of serviceability. And in this limit state of serviceability, we have further different types like deflection, then crack widths, then fire. These causes the unserviceability of our structure, or our structure gets unserviceable due to deflection and crack widths, which is actually good in a strength but not serviceable for a customer or a client for which we are providing it. Okay, so serviceability criteria is the major thing which we consider under the yielding. Yielding means what? A section gets yielded longer than its usual length, and then it is deformed, deflect, which cause this higher yielding causes a section to be unserviceable. And if we are checking out what formula is provided, so IS code mentioned that calculate this yielding with this formula which is mentioned on page number 32. Okay, in this formula what required? In this formula we required AGFY upon gamma naught. Gamma M naught is a partial safety factor for the tension failure, right, in yielding. Whereas AG is a gross area which we already calculated. FY is what? Yield stress. Yield stress is also mentioned in the problem. Then we got very first strength of our section in yielding as how much? 229.5 kilonewton. If you solve this problem, you can get. Now second criteria is strength governed by rupture of critical section. I said rupture means what? I have explained this in the modes of failure. Rupture means the section get teared up, it will fail, it will break down, and that's what we call rupture. But how does this rupture happens in a section? See, when you apply a tension, this is your gusset plate, this is your angle, and if we apply a force upon it, tensile force, first it may fails in yielding. If it is not fail or unserviceable because of yielding, then the next things happens is a rupture. How does rupture happens? The bolts get ruptured down. I have shown a video in your class in your official group, you can see that. Now we will focus upon the numerical part. See, the formula is mentioned over here to calculate rupture strength, okay, which is mentioned on page number 33 of your IS code in clause number 6.3.3. Okay, no need to mug up this formula, you can get it on IS code on page number 33. Now see what this formula is consist of. It is consist of gamma M1, gamma M naught. Gamma M1 is a partial safety factor, you know already. Gamma M naught is also a partial safety factor, and we are using it to calculate T. We have already used it to calculate TDG, right? In the yielding mode of failure, we have already seen that we used partial safety factor for yielding, right? Now we are using it for rupture criteria. Gamma M1 can be given as, it is a partial safety factor for, wait a minute, I will mention it below. Gamma M1 is a partial safety factor for highest yield stress, or we can say that it is a partial safety factor for failure at ultimate yield stress. And where we will find it, you can find it in table number 5 of your IS code. Okay, whereas gamma M naught is a partial safety factor. It is a partial safety factor for failure in tension by yielding. By what? Yielding. So here in the calculation of rupture, we are taking partial safety factor gamma M naught for failure in yielding, as well as gamma M1, which is failure at ultimate stress. I hope it is clear, and you can find the values of it on table number 5 of your IS code. Okay, let's go further. In the next part, you can see the beta is a new thing. Okay, Fy is a yield stress, Fu is a ultimate stress, which is mentioned in your question, whereas ANC and AGO is a net connected area and gross outstanding leg area. Understood? That is familiar to us. The new thing which we can see is a beta. How to calculate beta? That is again mentioned on page number 33 of your IS code. The formula is itself mentioned over there on the page number 33, and even the terminologies, are explained there. See, first terminology is Fy by Fu. Fy is yield stress divided by Fu. You know already this part. These are the numerical values. The important part is what is W by T ratio and how to calculate W and T. So W is length of outstanding leg. Outstanding leg means what? See, if you have angle like this, you connected this like this. Okay, then this is the connected leg area and this is the outstanding leg area. I hope you remember, and length of this outstanding leg is considered as a W over here. Okay, the next part is T. T is the thickness of angle. This is very important. The last ratio from this terminology is very important. We will discuss that now. Let's have a angle with us. Okay, this is how we connected it to the gusset plate. Okay, and this is your bolt. Now W is what? Outstanding leg length, W, whereas the length from connected bolt, from center of connected bolt to the outstanding leg bottom, this length is called as a W1, and BS will be equals to W plus W1 minus thickness T. I hope you remember. This is mentioned again on page number 33 of your IS code. That's why I said please carry your IS code while watching this video. Okay, now what is LC? The LC is calculated as LC is, now I am taking a plan of our gusset plate. This is the gusset plate, and on this gusset plate you have connected section and you have number of bolts over there. To be clear picture, this is your angle connected to the gusset plate. This is how you connected to the gusset plate. Now on that you have bolts, right? to connect gusset plate with our angle, or to connect the angle with gusset plate. The LC will be the distance between end bolts, distance between the end bolts. Okay, now see, I have noted the values from our problem. That W, see, we are solving it for case number 1. Case number 1 is saying us that connect the 100 mm leg to the gusset plate. If 100 mm leg is connected, what will be the outstanding leg length? Of course 75. Therefore I have taken 75. But you cannot take directly a 75. Why? Because see, when you connected an angle with a gusset plate like this, you have to take a distance up to this. Correct? You have to consider distance up to this part, and therefore you should minus 75 minus 6 by 2, which is 75 minus 3. That's what I wrote over here. 75 minus 3 divide by 6. Divide by 6 is the thickness of your angle. The next part is your 250 Fy is mentioned in the question. It is 250. Fu is mentioned in a section. It is 410. Okay. Now next part is calculating BS. BS will be W plus W1 minus thickness T. Okay, we know that our angle is connected with the 100 mm leg to the gusset plate, right? With the 100 mm leg to the gusset plate, and if it is connected with the 100 mm leg, then outstanding leg will be of 75 mm, and this distance will be up to this will be W1, this leg length will be W, and T will be thickness. So W1, if 100 mm leg is connected, G will be, G says that if 100 mm leg is connected, take G distance equals to 60. Take G distance equals to 60. What is this G distance that I have mentioned? I will show you. Yes, see here. This G distance is telling us that what height you have connected your bolt from the bottom leg or a outstanding leg of your angle. That G tells us that if you are connecting 75 mm leg, then G will be 40 mm. If you are connecting 100 mm leg, then G will be 60 mm. Okay, if I am connecting 100 mm, we are solving case number 1 in which we have connected 100 mm leg, and therefore our G will be 60. Okay, this distance will be 60. That is our W1, whereas outstanding leg will be of distance 75. So let's go to the part where we were discussing this concept. Yes. So BS I have said you W1 plus W minus thickness. Okay. So W1 will be 60 plus W will be 75 minus 6. That will be your BS. And LS will be what? LS will be a thickness between a length between end bolts. Okay, so that will be 5 into 40. That's how we calculated this value. Once you solve this in your calci, you will get answer 1.043. Okay, now next is beta. See, where you get a beta calculations or formula in IS code, they have mentioned that beta should be less than this and should be greater than equals to this. So let's check that for our IS, for our calculation. So I have calculated beta value as 1.043, and if I calculate value of this formula, that comes 1.44. that's definitely tell us our beta value is less than this ratio, and our beta value is greater than 0.7. Okay, we our condition is satisfied. Now we are moving towards TDN calculation. In TDN calculation, what we have? Beta over here. We calculated this beta. Everything rest is mentioned in this formula. Yes, 0.9 FU is 250, ANC is already calculated. Put those all values. Only unknown thing was beta. Only unknown thing was beta that we calculated and put over here. Once you calculate that, you will get TDN. Please do not forget to write. Please don't forget to write 10 to the power minus 3, because we want to convert Newton to kilonewton. We should convert our force from Newton to kilonewton. Okay, now there is an alternative formula available to find TDN in your IS code. See, that is again mentioned on page number 33, and that consists of alpha value. That alpha value is also mentioned in your IS code. If you put the all values in that IS in this formula, you will get alternate value of TDN. Okay. Next is strength governed by block shear. This is the next failure of our tension failure modes. The first mode was yielding, second was rupture, yielding of a gross area, rupture of net area, and third one is the block shear. So let's solve for the block shear. Now block shear consists of different formulas. Okay, the formula is T dB1, T suffix dB1, T suffix dB2. We need to calculate with this formulas, but this formula itself consists of many different values, right? This consists of different small things, which areas, which are stresses we have. We know the values of stresses. We know what is Fy, we know what is Fu, we know what is gamma naught, what is gamma M1. All those values are with us. What is different is calculating ATN, ATG, AVN, AVG. Okay, now what those areas are? So see here, if you are connecting a gusset plate with the angle or angle with the gusset plate, this is your angle, okay, and if you applied a tension upon it, I have shown 3D diagram over here. This is the 3D view. If we apply a tension over here, block shear may happen. Block shear will show us that I will show you a failure pattern of block shear. It will start tearing up our section like this along the bolts, along the holes of bolts. Okay, along the holes which we made for connection, those holes start rupturing. Why this happens? Because stress concentration occurs alongside of net area. Whenever you put a hole inside any gusset angle, if you this is, let's suppose, the angle, one leg of angle, and if you are putting holes inside it, you are reducing the cross section area of that angle, right? And when you reduce the area, the stresses will concentrate near that holes. Near these holes, stress will start concentrating, and once this stresses are so high, this section, this gap between those holes will get ruptured down. They will be highly stressed. That those areas, a very small areas between those holes will get ruptured down. This happens when you are putting very high yield stress material of a bolts as well as angle. If the yield stress of that angle and connecting bolts are higher, what happens? Then you require a lesser number of holes to connect angle with gusset plate. What happens? What I am saying, please focus. I am saying that if you have higher bolt value means what? Yield stress Fy of that bolt is higher. In that case, what happens? The lesser bolt also can satisfy the connection. They will give us a strong connection with the lesser number of bolts. Okay, but once you put a lesser number of bolts, lesser number of holes, ultimately that harms our section by giving us a block shear. Okay, now see, once the block shear, what I said, along the holes the stresses will develop, and that causes the gap between that holes to be ruptured down, and that looks like this. Now this is your gusset plate. It is having tension force like this, the bolts are like this, they are getting ruptured down. But what next happened? This face, look at this face. This face is consist of, okay, this face is consist of what? This, once you applying tension force, this bolts will show shear force, but this force, this face is under tension only, so it will show opposite, equal and opposite tensile force. So in the block shear, I already explained you that one face on this block shear, the one face along the holes will under shear, will be under shear. Okay, equal and opposite forces acting across a section, but this vertical face is in tension, it is applied under tension, it will show equal and opposite tension force only. Okay, and that's why you can see over here, here along the holes rupture occurs, whereas this rupture continues on this face, and that part also gets break down and comes outside like this, as I have shown over here. Now let's come to the calculation part. So we require to calculate AVG, AVN. This is AVG, this is your AVG, this is AVN, this is ATG and ATN. How to calculate it now, or what does this areas means to us? See, here we are using V symbol. Here we are using V symbol for the face which is under shear, for the area which is under shear. Okay, and we are using T for the area which is under tension. Okay, so if we are calculating VG, it means that gross shear area. If we are calculating VN, it means net shear area. If we are calculating ATG, it means that gross tension area or tensile gross area, whereas ATN is net tensile area. Now let's discuss where this gross shear area will be and where will be a tensile area. So see, this phase is under shear, therefore in that area will be a shear area. Okay, but this vertical plane is in tension, as I mentioned before. Therefore, for that we will calculate tensile area. And what is gross and net? You already know. In the gross area we neglect the holes. In net area we reduce the area of hole from our calculation. Now let's see calculation part. Let's start with the AVG. AVG is 6. So now see, I am taking area, cross-sectional area of this part. I have drawn a diagram of that plate, looks like this. These are the holes. These are the holes which get ruptured down, and I want to know the area of this rectangle. Area of this rectangle. You can see over here we have a rectangular over here. I want to know area of that. How to calculate that rectangular area? Length into thickness of that rectangle. So thickness I have already mentioned outside, which is 6, but length, that is need to be calculated. And how we will calculate that? See, the pitch distance. Now you should know what is pitch distance. Pitch distance is a distance between the center to center of your holes, and gauge distance, if you have a plate like this, gauge distance will be, this is also a pitch distance, this is also a pitch distance, and gauge distance will be from center of hole to the edge of that plate. Center of hole to the edge of that plate, that is called edge distance or gauge distance. Okay, so pitch distance between these holes is 40, even the gauge is 40. So what will be a distance of this length? This first 40 plus pitch of 5 gaps, okay, or pitch in between those holes. So that's why 40 plus 5 plus 40, which is gauge distance, into the thickness 6 gives us a area, gross area of a shear. Next is your AVN. Now net area we need to calculate. In the net area you already know we have to reduce the holes. How many holes are there? We have first hole, second hole, third hole, fourth hole, fifth and sixth. But sixth hole is not totally considered. From the middle of the sixth we have a rupture. We have a rupture from the middle of the sixth hole. Therefore we will consider half of length of that hole. It means that 5.5. Instead of 6 hole, the last hole is taken from the middle. Therefore we are taking it as a 5.5. Okay, into 18. Into 18 is what? Dia of that hole. That much area has to be reduced. Okay, so this is what we call AVN. This is what AVG. Now shear area means that this phase is completed. For that we already calculated AVG. Now we require to calculate tensile area. How to calculate tensile area? For tensile area you need to consider this vertical plane. Let's consider that plane now. In this vertical plane you have a height. Okay, how much is the height of that plane? See, the angle is in between this, okay, and the bottom is mentioning as a G. Okay, and G is 60 if 100 mm leg is considered. Therefore I mentioned I am solving case number 1, which is in which 100 mm leg of your angle is connected. Therefore bottom distance will be 60. What will be remaining is 40. That face is this. That is what? 40 mm. So this 40 into what? Thickness. 40 into what? Thickness. 40 into 6 gives us 240 mm square. Next is your ATN. What is ATN? ATN is your net tensile area. So what hole is considered into it? A very half part of this hole is considered into tensile area. Half part is considered into shear area. Half part is considered into tensile area. Therefore 6 into 40, which is length of that tensile area, into 0.5 into 18, which this is how we reduced our gross area into net area. Once we do this, once we calculate all this 4 areas, then calculation will be a simply putting values in formula. So first you put the values of AVG, ATN, then AVN, ATG, and calculate the answer for this two, TDB1 and TDB1 and TDB2. TDB1 value is 243, TDB2 value is 198.73 kilonewton. Now in TDG, the yielding formula TDG, the rupture formula TDN, and last one is the TDB is for block shear. Okay, but now the question is, here we have two formulas, TDB1 and TDB2. So you should consider least of these two values. You should consider least of these two values as your block shear strength. Okay, therefore, hence I said, hence the TDB will be 198, because we have 230 somewhat value of TDB1, yes 243, and in TDB2 we got 198. As I said, we have to consider least one. I have considered TDB as 198. This is how we have calculated three of the strength in modes of failure. First strength is for yielding, second one is rupture, and third one is for block shear. Now question is, at what strength the section will fail? Will it fail in a yielding, will it fail in a rupture, or it may fail in a block shear? So how do we know that at what strength the section will fail? So it is simple. You note down all the three values of your strength. First is for yielding, we got 229.5, which is the value of TDG. Second is 241, which is the value of TDN, and third one is for block shear failure. Okay, TDB. Out of these three values, you should consider least. Why we are considering least? Because see, before reaching the higher strength, the section may fail at block shear only before failure of, because see, if you keep waiting for yielding to happen and section to fail, before that only block shear causes a failure. I hope you understood. That's why we consider least out of this. And hence the design tensile strength of our angle is 198.73. Here our problem ends. Now I request you to solve the second case of this problem in your notebook as a homework. On this Saturday, I will conduct a class test like I have conducted online test on previous Saturday. I will conduct in the same way a online test for you, as well as you have to finish second case from this video lecture. Thank you.